What up, world? It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live, and I'm out here at the park, Celestial Park, you know, and just out here doing a video, honestly, about breathing, breath work, and processing stuff. Oh, yeah, and look at the clouds, too. That is so beautiful. That spread of clouds. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, people have a different type of God and higher being and all that stuff. I just say nature is God. Like I say, we're all gods and goddesses, and I say nature is God. Like, the right people understand what I mean by that, because nature is spectacular. Like, yeah, maybe some of the stuff might be man planted, but there also are plenty of different natural discoveries throughout the world that you know that were formed naturally. Like mountains, like the oceans, like the deserts, like the rivers, you know, just the natural stuff, beaches, you know, stuff like that, stuff that is natural, not the man-made natural stuff. It's amazing because especially when you're out at the beach and you just go out and see how far the ocean is. It's like endless. You know what I'm saying? And you feel tiny because you are in contrast to the ocean. You know, so in a way, it kind of brings us down to earth. That's what I'm noticing. But like, moving forward with life, keeping a mentally strong mindset in life, in the world. When you're going on the road, less travel. How did I get on this road? Less travel. First of all, I was already born different. You know what I'm saying? I was already accelerated in a way, you know. So that's why I was in elevated classroom experiences. Like I was in elevated classroom programs, to be honest. Like, how there's public school and there's regular class, and then like for me, I was always just getting hundreds and just getting amazing scores and grades. So eventually, they just moved me up to like the accelerated class, like talented and gifted cluster. So I was in that with other children as well. And then eventually we ended up going to a magnet school. And, you know, like the magnet school is another step up, a whole lot of emphasis on education and whatnot, and, music and arts and whatnot like that. I love seeing that bring out the best in me rather than just, you know, boring stuff. You know what I'm saying? It really challenged me, to use my mind a lot. So whenever I did go to high school, I chose a public school instead of another magnet school or another, private school or something like that. We went to a public school, and I noticed a contrast within that from leaving a magnet school with this very small group of people, nerdy people, to going to a massive public school. It's like a big zoo, and there I gathered some friends here and there, but honestly, I've always just been in my own world. I've connected with a diverse group of people, all different colors, all different languages, all different countries. Like, I'm talking about all across the board. I am truly like a rainbow, you know, and I guess that's why they call it Rainbow Tribe. And no, I'm not talking about sexuality or any of that stuff. I'm talking about just, those who remember their indigenous roots, and, you know, they're accepting and cooperating with other energies out there, that may be different frequencies, but they all stand and have a common ground, like all these different religions and countries and nationalities, like it all leads back to a universal truth of oneness and love. So that's what I'm speaking about. But, like for me, through high school, I had a few nerdy friends. I was just me, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't super popular, I wasn't whack, I always stayed true, wasn't into all this partying and stuff. Everybody in high school, they all had all this experience with drugs and alcohol and staying out late and partying and driving prematurely and all this stuff. Babies, pregnancy, all this stuff, and I was like a big baby with that. I had no experience with that. I felt like a nerd, like a goody goody or whatever, because I wasn't into that stuff, and like as I graduated, as I became older, you know, I had a period of time where I was going out, staying out late, going to parties, going to clubs, testing the waters with stuff, with that, you know, late night atmosphere, and like that didn't last that long because honestly, I got tired of being tired, of being sick and tired and trying to do everything. I was trying to do everything and it was stressing me out. It was overwhelming me, to be honest, with just a destructive lifestyle and trying to do everything, everything. Social life, education, work, relationship, family, business, everything. It was just, at that time, you know, the wheels weren't turning very fluidly, you know what I'm saying? And I end up detaching from that. And I've always just loved, like, tranquility, chill, calm stuff, enchanted type of vibe, and like my parents, they're born, or they had their honeymoon in Jamaica, and they have some island connections, time out there that they lived and stuff. I love Bob Marley and reggae music, and I've been drawn to that spirituality and natural vibe, ancestral stuff. So that's what I always love. So I always love the meditation, the herbs, you know, and whenever I'm, you know, crossing over, you know what I mean? Like detaching from the crowd and from that whole party crowd, pills, drugs, alcohol, and everything. I just kind of went on my own and was cool with some other people who shared similar things, interests, who love herbs, who love vegan life, who love, learning new stuff, who showed, you know, who experienced yoga, who like yoga, who do yoga, you know what I'm saying, who work out, who travel, who, are into deep esoteric stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like it became a lot smaller is what I've realized because, you know, when you're standing for something such as spirituality and wellness and health and just nerdy stuff like that, you know, many people may overlook it, to be honest. And they may be the ones that's going in the pursuit of money in a ravenous way, like in a very fast way is all I'm saying. And I've been learning that there is no quick fix, there is no fast stuff like that that's legitimate and that will be stable and last in the long run. You know, yes, I love money. I'm desiring to make the most money. That's why I'm always out here and always will be out here earning daily, compensation for doing what I love. Simple things, but I'm saying like, you know, sometimes being around certain groups and environments and stuff where everybody's not on the same page, you know, and y'all think just because of one thing that y'all gotta do monkey see, monkey do, but really in actuality y'all not on the same page and there really is no super deep connection. That's why I left. There'd be drama going on. People are paranoid. People are stuck with this facade, this, you know, cartoon puppet character stuff. I actually realized that too, because I remember the few times I did go to the different clubs, I noticed the vibe, the energy from the music and stuff was like pounding at me, and like I felt like a really shaky vibe, even at the different parties and stuff that drama happened at. Like I noticed something was going on in this planet. I've been noticing there's just a lot of fishy stuff going on in this world. But I noticed especially with that. And, you know, I started listening to 432 frequency. And I noticed whenever I began meditating and being on my own and stuff, and I'll listen to the 432, with great headphones or great sound system, and then I would change it over to some other music that may be 440 hertz, maybe some mainstream stuff, super popular, viral, whatever. But then, like, you know, this whole, this lower frequency. You know what I'm saying? Like you notice it's like an act. You notice it's out of character. It's not like you wouldn't be truly out in the jungle playing this music with your family, with the tribe, with your newborn. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about, you know. And you don't gotta be no perfectionist saint or whatever. I'm just saying the truth about it. I know it's the vibes for real, you know. And I just had to make little adjustments. I just found my way just to be on my own, because some of the stuff that I